Now is the most contemporary show about what's actually happening. Marketing is going through one of its biggest transformations ever, where this thing controls the game. And there's so many things we pay attention to, but we get to talk to the brightest and best minds in marketing on Marketing.
Oh, hello world. Happy Cyber Monday to all my retail friends. This is Avery from Vayner, and we are hosting a very special episode of Marketing for the Now today on the unexpected brands absolutely crushing it this holiday season. Last year, we hosted a bunch of retailers and they told us all about their Black Friday and Cyber Monday promos. And this year, we're actually going to mix it up and do things a little bit differently. My first guest here is Lisa Horton, and Lisa leads all things communications and creative at David's Bridal, aka the biggest bridal company. I think 1 in 3 wedding dresses in the United States are sold through you all.
That's right. Yeah. Hi, everyone. Thanks so much for having me, Avery. I'm so excited to chat.
So Lisa, tell us a little bit about yourself and also a little bit about what brought you to David's Bridal, because you're relatively new.
Yeah. So I have been in PR and communications and branding for over 15 years. And I really love and have a passion for storytelling. And I especially am drawn to brands that have this incredible balance between emotional, kind of take on things, as well as really filling a void and need for folks. And so, I've been able to work with David's indirectly and directly for a little over a year. And I've been with the brand now full time for about 5 months. And David's Bridal has been a part of my own story. I bought my prom dress at David's Bridal. My mom, when she married my father, was a David's Bridal bride. I've been a David's Bridal bridesmaid. And, it's that stat that you mentioned, 1 in 3 wedding dresses is sold by David's in the company. And so, or in the country. And so, it's really exciting to be a part of many people's love stories, whether they're attending a wedding or walking down the aisle themselves or getting ready for prom. So it's been a really amazing kind of start to my journey here.
And 'tis the season. Bridal Christmas is also upon us. As many of our listeners would know, holidays are a huge time for engagements, for weddings, for those special occasions and little gifts under the tree. So Lisa, I'm really curious, how, in that 15 years that you've been spending in communications, we've seen holiday shopping swing from in-store to very much online today, literally being Cyber Monday. Where are you seeing shoppers gravitate towards this holiday season, and how are you all creating sort of a more human shopping experience across both channels?
Yeah, it's a great question. I think, one of the biggest differentiators for David's kind of exciting thing for us compared to many competitors, whether in the bridal space or even in just the special occasion space, is the fact that we offer both. We are, an online retailer and marketplace, but we also have incredible stores that have amazing experiences. And so I think it also depends on what consumers are shopping for, where we're really seeing the traction. So for instance, we actually just had one of our biggest and best Black Fridays in many years. So very excited about that. And what we really saw, especially online, was that occasion shopper and those bridesmaids and that mother of the bride customer. And then in store, we definitely saw bridal and bridesmaids as well. So it really, I think we're seeing it vary again, depending on price point as well. And depending on, what exactly they're looking for. In terms of, kind of adding that human element to our experience, that is really at the core of what we do. So for instance, all of our employees, our stylists in stores, to our IT, employees at David's, we're all called dream makers for a reason. Our focus is really that experience. We want to help our customer make their dream come true, regardless of what they're looking for, whether that's a gift or whether it's a bridal dress and a bridal gown. So, for us, we want to make sure that we have those elements and touch points everywhere. We want to talk to her as if she's a friend, because we want to be a friend. Not many brands get to say, we get to walk down the aisle with you. We get to say that. So, even from our AI side of things, we have incredible AI touch points, and we have Pearl Planner, which is an AI wedding planning platform, and you can chat with our AI assistant, Pearl. There's so many human elements there. We've been training Pearl and continue to train Pearl to make sure that she is a dream maker, just like our incredible dream makers in store, and uses the same verbiage, vernacular, and experience to make sure that there's consistency across the brand.
I love that. Okay, so talk to us a little bit about this particular season of bridal Christmas. Obviously, people are always shopping on Black Friday, but what does this mean to you all as sort of a season?
Yeah. So if right now it's really focused on occasion and bridesmaid. That's really what we're seeing. And then, as you mentioned, the holidays is one of the biggest times of the year for folks to get engaged. So typically between Thanksgiving and Christmas to New Year's is really when we see that uptick of people becoming engaged and changing from girlfriend, boyfriend, partner to fiance. And then come December.
Such a fun word, fiance. Like you only get to see it for a short period of time. So it's a very special word.
It is. I wish I had more fiance merch, to be honest. Invest in fiance merch. Enjoy that title while you have it. And then come December 26th is really the kickoff of what we call bridal Christmas. And when we start to see that influx of brides coming into the funnel, coming in store, that's another, I think, really exciting part of David's. We have over 90% of brides entering our ecosystem throughout their bridal journey, whether they're coming to us to actually purchase a gown or looking for inspiration. And so, we want to be a part of that journey for her. We want her to come and take a look on the website, browse what we have, come in store, try on dresses. I think oftentimes we can really surprise and delight customers when they can really see the craftsmanship and the quality that we're able to provide, as well as the range of price points.
On that range of price points, you recently told me that your dresses really range from like 99 all the way up to like above 10K with some absolutely incredible designers, Vera Wangs and the likes. Talk to me about how, as the Chief Communications and Creative Officer, you think about storytelling across that such a wide range that really accommodates so many American women.
Yeah, I think, it's there's a few different things. One is really kind of distilling down what is that through line there. And for us, it's about the craftsmanship and the quality. One of the really amazing things about David's that we are really trying to continue to storytell is explaining our process. We own everything from the sketch of the dress all the way through to the production of it. And so because of that, we can pass down incredible savings to our customers that other brands and retailers may not be able to do, but that never sacrifices the quality or the craftsmanship. You can get a dress from David's for under $2,000 with 18,000 hand-sewn beads onto it. But then again, as I mentioned, we've got 90% of customers coming to us. And what we saw a lot of the times was she wanted a higher price point. She wanted maybe, extra applications.
We love that for David's.
We love that. We love that. And we want to serve you. We're dream makers. We want to make your dream come true. And so we expanded by bringing in higher price points in-house, also working with our head of couture, Viola Chan. She's amazing. She's, dressed Taylor Swift and heads of state. We have her Viola Chan couture line, but then we've also been bringing on incredible partners like Marchesa, for instance, or working with brands like BB in the special occasion space, and working with, other brands in the mother of the bride space to be able to bring those higher price points in for our customer and really meet her where she wants to be. So I think that that's really exciting about our company. And with that being said, the through line is consistent. However, it is about taking the time to take a step back and figuring out how we're going to message that to each different consumer. Because obviously when your price point is $1,500, we don't want to, push some of our higher price points in front of you. We want you to feel comfortable, and we want to be able to show you that you can get exactly what you want within that price point. But at the same time, if you're looking for a dress or you have a budget that is $6,000 or more, we want to make sure that we're serving you that as well. So really taking the time to understand your audience.
Love that. Okay, so Lisa, in our final minute here, I'm going to ask you some rapid fire questions.
Okay.
So this or that, in-store holiday magic or seamless online convenience?
Oh, can I do both? I think it's a little bit of both.
You get one both.
I get one both. I'm going to take it. I mean, I was in stores on Black Friday myself, but then as soon as I came home, I went online. So I'm all about both.
A little bit of both. Okay, this or that, holiday campaigns with humor that make people smile or emotional storytelling that makes you almost tear up a bit?
Emotional storytelling. I'm a sucker for it. Pull at the heartstrings.
Okay, this or that, shopping through your own channels or meeting consumers where they already are on the likes of Amazon and TikTok shops?
Meeting consumers where they are. We are on Amazon. We're on DoorDash. We're expanding even farther than that in 2026.
You can get a wedding dress on DoorDash. Oh my goodness.
You sure can. You sure can.
That is crazy. You can get everything on there. I definitely DoorDash multiple times this weekend. Okay, this or that, thoughtful long lead planning or nimble last minute pivots?
Ooh, Pivots. You have to be able to answer to the business. Everything changes, especially in marketing and communications. What you wanted to do in 6 months from now may change based on what's happening on social media and the news and everything else. And so I think in order to be the best communicator, marketer you can be, you've got to be able to think really fast on your feet.
Okay, and last one, this or that AI-powered product suggestions or a curated human recommendation.
I'm going to go with human recommendations. And that's because I think many of them actually power what we're getting in AI, right? So I think it's really about finding what your audience is, what's relevant, making that human connection there, and then using that to help feed things on the AI side. So maybe it's two boths.
I love that. Amazing. Lisa, thank you so much for joining us. I wish you and the Davids team a very wonderful bridal Christmas. Going to have to check out those dresses on DoorDash.
Thank you. Thanks, Avery. Really appreciate it. Bye, everyone.
You. Okay, awesome. That was so interesting. I feel like there's just more, the more you learn about occasion wear, the more opportunities you have to wear it. I'm going to bring in, our next guest is actually a perfect continuation of post wedding. You're honestly often thinking about babies, as I am right now. Maggie is the creative force and powerhouse between Frida Baby, which is, I think, the hottest baby brand right now. I'm in the market. Maggie, you all have been just doing so much cool and exciting work. Tell Marketing for the Now community a little bit about yourself.
Thank you. Great to be here, Avery, and welcome to the Parent Club. So I'm a mom of two. I've been with Frida for almost a year and a half now. And it's been a real incredible journey to actually start, applying a lot of my very hard-earned knowledge and experience as a parent and joining a business whose heart and soul is really dedicated to being there for parents during this very crazy, wild, chaotic journey of parenthood. So it's been a real kind of capstone for my career so far to be able to apply all of that real-time knowledge to being there for parents as they grow and learn in this crazy world of parenthood.
I'm sure many of the listeners of Marketing for the Now have seen your campaigns that have broken the internet. So we'll talk about those in a second. But I also want to first ask you about, you're actually a VaynerMedia alumni. So I want to ask how your time at Vayner shaped sort of your role as a marketing leader at a big company.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure you would agree that one of the biggest takeaways of working with Gary and team is really building that empathy muscle and understanding that being a human first is the best way to build a brand. And I've never seen a brand embody that better than Frida. So being able to really take that understanding of giving to your community and building a community is probably one of the most critical sort of cornerstones of building a brand. Beyond your logo and your color palette and your identity system, it's really all about how you show up. So to me, that's something that I've really taken away from my time at Vayner and applied to all of my work prior to Frida. And it's just kind of, I think, been a full circle experience being now with a brand that embodies humanity in such a powerful way.
And for a brand that embodies humanity in such a powerful way, you all have done some really breakthrough campaigns that are probably like, if you know, with parents, whether that is breast milk ice cream or your booger candies. Can you talk a little bit about the insight that led to some of those and how they came to life?
Yeah, so we really prioritize balancing what we call culture and commerce and really finding opportunities to sit squarely in the middle. So when we start planning for the year ahead, we always leave some velvet in the system to make sure that we are able to respond in real time to these sometimes very niche taboo insights that kind of bubble up within the parenting community and beyond. With breast milk ice cream in particular, Paige DeSorbo had mentioned on Love Island that she had tasted breast milk, and we started seeing some of these conversations come up really organically. And it is truly just this slightly taboo, but very universal truth that everyone is tasting their breast milk. And it was such a powerful way to us to connect to our community as we launched our new breast care line, beginning with our amazing manual breast pump. So had we not left room in the system to be able to react in real time in really powerful, resonant, culturally relevant ways, we would have been trapped in this very rigid sort of annual planning system that didn't allow us for that much flexibility when we saw these moments come up. So for us, it's really keeping our finger on the pulse of what are parents talking about, maybe in smaller, more niche corners of the internet, so that we have these opportunities to pull threads in really authentic ways that other brands maybe aren't tapping into.
You all are doing that in such an incredible way. And for a brand that parents really rely on all, 365 days a year, but especially during these chaotic, high stress moments, what does your team at Frida prioritize as you're heading into this holiday shopping season, which we know is a time of like cold and flu? It's a very stressful time for parents. There's a lot going on right now. How do you all think about really matching that mindset?
Yeah. So what's interesting about the holidays is, we see this a lot with brands. It sort of turns them into these circus performers, and it becomes this very theatrical moment of countdown clocks and best deal evers. And, there's a lot of urgency and marketing speak that kind of starts to bubble up this time of year. And when the holidays, as you say, crash right into this sort of peak cold and flu season, it really is basically the parenting playoffs. And parents do not need or want theatrics. They're really just trying to keep their kids breathing through the night. They're planning for the chaos of the holidays, and they just need to keep their heads on straight. So our strategy is always humanity first, transaction second. So our goal is really just to make parents' lives simpler, easier, and better. Frida's kind of always been different in this way that we've really built a brand on very radical honesty, clarity, and meeting parents at eye level. So what we absolutely don't want to do is bring more noise versus more truth. So we try and keep all of our messaging this time of year very simple, but simple in ways that I don't think a lot of consumers expect from a brand. Simple, like your kid is sick, you're exhausted, here's what will actually help. So we don't want to manufacture urgency or employ marketing speak. We just want to really deliver usefulness and deliver it with humanity. So for us, it's really about kind of leading with that emotional need state, not the offer or the discount. So instead of trying to outshout the market, we're really trying to outhuman it. And again, that's sort of one of those full circle moments when we talk about all of that, like brand building with empathy and making sure that we're, introducing a really human voice in how we show up.
Yeah, there's real questions that parents are asking on Reddit forums, in Facebook groups, all of that. And it seems like your team is really seeking to help answer those in a useful manner. And of course, one that your products help solve, but kind of leading with that second. And looking ahead, where do you see the biggest opportunities for AI to make the parent shopping journey feel more human and not less?
Yeah, I mean, I think for our category especially, AI needs to understand context, not just queries. So really recognizing that when a parent is seeking advice, where they are in their journey, are they pregnant, sleepless, mid-meltdown, mid-registry? There's all of these sort of contextual experiences that a parent is in the middle of when they're seeking that information. So if a mom is shopping at 2:00 in the morning for breastfeeding pans, she doesn't want a feature list, she wants reassurance.
Right.
So how do we make sure that we're balancing that human voice and that context in our AI responses? And a lot of that has to do with how we as brands start kind of feeding some of that into the AI machine. And how do we make sure that we're really translating some of that chaotic moment that a parent is experiencing into clarity and humanity? I think that's probably one of the biggest opportunities for AI.
I'm sure ChatGPT is just surging with parent searches.
Yes.
And all of the large language model engines. Okay, so we're going to end on a quick little this or that. So Maggie, you get one, both.
Okay.
Otherwise, you have to do this or that. So this or that, in-store holiday magic or seamless online convenience.
So I'm going to go with online convenience, given parents are desperately scrolling TikTok at 2 a.m. for answers on the reg. So that's going to be my answer.
Holiday campaigns with humor or emotional storytelling that makes people feel.
I want to say both, but we love a little cheeky humor here at Frida, especially when life gets stressful. So I'm gonna go with humor.
Thoughtful long lead planning or nimble last minute pivots based on consumer behavior.
Okay, here's my both. But the nimble last minute pivots are a lot more fun. And again, that's where you really make sure that you're tapping into culture meaningfully. So both are critical. Nimble pivots are way more exciting.
Okay, AI powered product suggestions or human curated recommendations?
I think it's AI powered product suggestions that feel very human. So we know it's completely changing the way people discover and buy products. So we have to show up in a way that both, taps into that new behavior that's inevitable. It's growing. It's not going anywhere, but we have to do it in a way that feels human.
Amazing. Maggie, thank you so much for sharing. Your journey at Frida is something that everyone should be following. Frida, whether you're a parent or you have a niece or a nephew or you know a kid, follow along Frida. They have so many helpful tips and really a best-in-class creative and social strategy. So Maggie, thank you for joining us on Marketing for the Now.
Thanks, Avery.
Okay, we're going to continue along with unexpected brands crushing this holiday season, almost all along our human lifetime journey, and welcome Karen to the stage. Karen is the co-founder of Slumu and one of the most creative people in the world. She's playing with some right now. Karen, tell us a little bit about yourself. Oh, you're on mute. 5 years in with Zoom, and it's like,
I know.
Karen,
First of all,
welcome.
so happy to see you and so happy to be here. I am the co-founder and co-CEO of Slumu Institute, which is an interactive, immersive experience all based on #satisfying and slime. We have 7 locations and also like e-commerce product and something really exciting, which is a graphic novel that is
Cool.
about our fictional origin story written by the author of Disney's Descendants, and that is coming out in March.
Is this Slumu lore?
Yes.
Amazing. Well, you can't get it for this holiday season, but you can get it in March. So Karen, I feel like we just talked about weddings. We talked about babies. Now we're talking about slime, which is perfect for kids and adults alike. Can you tell us a little bit about your physical experience that you all have all across the country?
Yeah, so it's very tactile. I'm whipping out. I have a whole world here for you. It's a really immersive universe. The first thing that happens when you come in is you get your Slumu name. And we got our name because there was a funny trend online where people were saying, replace the vowels of your name with OO, and that's the slime name. So you're either Uvaru or Uvari. And I'm Garoon, slime is Slumu. So you get your Slumu name, and really that is your subliminal message to play. You're somebody, you're in your silly side. And you're doing everything from feeling like we have tons of textures of slime. Each one has like a different feeling, a different scent, a different color. So you're really immersed in 4 of your 5 senses at once. And you can put slime on a wall, you can walk on slime. In different experiences, there's in different locations, you have different things. So in New York, there's a room where touching slime makes music, and there's 10 different tracks. So you're basically like a slime DJ. You're designing your own slime, which you get to take home. There's an ASMR sound bath, and the list goes on.
Okay, so it's this sensory joy, creativity, and emotional escape, things that feel sort of deeply human. And in a holiday season that's increasingly shaped by AI, how do you continue to deliver on that tactile in-person magic that screens just can't?
So I think that as pendulums swing one way, they always have to swing another.
Of course.
And as the world becomes increasingly digital and we are more and more screen addicted, the more we actually mentally, scientifically, emotionally, intellectually need to touch, to feel, to connect with other people in person without our phones. And when you have both hands on slime, it is impossible to get into your phone and for your head to get into all of the stories that we all tell ourselves.
And so much of Slumu's appeal, I feel, is the way that it brings people to play. So that's kids, but that's also adults. Can you tell us a little bit about the average guest at Slumu Institute?
So the average guest is definitely families with kids who range from probably 2 to 16. Although we get a lot of corporate offsites, which is amazing. Like we once taught 600 people at Google how to make slime. And during the pandemic, we taught people at Pfizer how to make slime online. So there is this incredible need for adults to let go of everything and let their inner children out. But really, it's mostly families. And it's amazing to see parents who leave and say, I actually wound up needing this more than my kid did, or I had more fun than my kid did. Or for one of my favorite reviews of all time was somebody who said, even my miserable 17-year-old loved it.
That makes all the sense in the world with like those cranky teenagers, but they play and they love it. And as you think about the holidays, like this is also a time when families are together. We're off of Thanksgiving weekend when people were probably coming in and doing activities and, you know, spending some time together. How do you all think about this as a place where families can have that connection?
We have a lot of families who come year over year at the same time, and this is their family tradition.
Their tradition.
One of my favorites is there was a family in Chicago who comes, and the youngest children are 30.
Oh,
and
wow.
They go up to like 85. And this is where they come together to literally just play and be silly and kind of remind themselves of who they were when they were young. But it's we're all, as I watched, I was just visiting my family and I was sitting on Thanksgiving and I looked at all like the tweens and the teens. All of them were just on their phones on the sofa. And I was like, we're all together. There's 20 of us in a room. Can we all put down our phones and be here? Because everyone you're talking to should be with their families too. This actually puts it on you in a way that doesn't feel like a burden and it feels like fun and that you're getting to explore together. And there's a lot of research around actual hands-on play and how hands-on play builds connections, ignites creativity, decreases stress, and actually creates new neural pathways in the brain.
I absolutely love that. Okay, so how do you think, as you know, this co-CEO of this business, how do you think about marketing and telling the story of Slumu? I know you all have some very exciting IP plans.
So it's really interesting because if you think about who our average guest is, that means the buyer is an adult making a decision because a 9-year-old doesn't and should not have their own credit cards. So in a way, you have to talk to the parents or the adults in their lives, a grandparent, an aunt, a best friend who could take their friends' kids. But you also have to appeal to the kids because it's often that, you can't have a 9-year-old actually technically shouldn't be having and can't have a TikTok or an Instagram, but we know they're looking at their family's phones. Right. So we have to find a way that we dovetail and appeal to both of them in our storytelling on social. We're obviously doing it through influencers. We obviously do our, paid. We do some digital advertising, but out of home, but like very minimal because we still have really, really scrappy budgets and we have traditional PR. So we're layering the marketing like you would, but we can't do it with Pepsi budgets.
Right. But you all are, I feel like also slime is just one of those things that inherently like goes viral because people are seeing it swirl. They're seeing it play, even the way that you're playing with it is so transfixing.
Are you a little jealous?
I am. I'm like, I wish I had a slime to play with. I'll have to get some.
Slime was just inducted into the Toy Hall of Fame.
That totally makes sense. I used to love Play-Doh when I was a kid. I'm going to have to get some slimes. You're going to have to send me some.
I will.
But we're going to end on a this or that. So Karen, and you can get both. This or that, in-store holiday magic or seamless online convenience?
This is a both. I mean, I'm an obvious in-store and experiential place, but I also believe you need seamless online. Okay. I only get one both.
You can only get one both, so you used it. Okay, this or that, holiday campaigns with humor or emotional storytelling that makes people feel?
I'm going to go with humor.
This or that, thoughtful long lead planning or nimble last minute pivots based on the business?
I think you have to nimble last minute based on the business. And, there's a long-term plan can go wrong. And of course we always try, but you have to pivot.
Yes.
The quarter zip happens and you've got to be willing to, you got to be ready.
We saw the quarter zip coming, but the quarter zip has won the holiday season. Absolutely. Yes. My dad is, he doesn't even know it, but he's been on brand for the last 25 years. Okay. This or that, AI powered product suggestions or curated human recommendations?
Curated human. I think that I love AI and I'm a huge proponent and I believe in it. But at the same time, it's never going to be the same exact taste level as somebody who actually knows what they're doing and comes from an educated perspective versus probability.
Amazing. Okay, Karen, thank you so much for joining us. Everyone who's listening to Marketing for the Now, please check out Slimu Institute. It is absolutely incredible, sensorial. Take your families. Perfect holiday activity. Karen, thank you so much for joining us on the show.
Thank you for having me.
All right, this is so fun and exciting. I need some slime now to stretch. My next guest is going to be Caroline, who leads global media at EssilorLuxottica. So thank you so much for joining us, Caroline. I'm sure the last few days have been crazy busy for you all.
It sure has, but excited to be here. Thank you, Avery, for having me.
Okay, so can you tell us a little bit about yourself and maybe something that stood out to you this Black Friday, Cyber Monday season?
Yeah, so my name is Caroline Proto, and I oversee global media for our sun retail portfolio here at EssilorLuxottica. So for us in the US, that's a brand like Sunglass Hut. And I think what stood out to me this holiday season is definitely the promotions. You saw a lot of promotional advertising a lot earlier than I think we've seen in the past. I don't know if you felt that way too, Avery, but I feel like I was seeing Black Friday messaging like November 2nd.
Yes, literally it was the day after Halloween. I was already getting 35% off, which was, great, but also horrible for my wallet.
100%, same.
Okay, so your brands are known for style, for quality, and individuality. So during the holiday shopping rush, when every brand is vying for attention and trying to break through with discounts and deals, how do you stay true to your brand voice and your brand promise without adding to that noise?
It's a great question. I was thinking about this kind of before we had this call, and I think we really try to be adamant about our brand voice and our brand mission all year long. And I think a lot of times you see brands that are trying to retrofit their brand into the holiday rather than the other way around. So I think for us, it's really been about making sure that our brand voice, our brand mission remains consistent. And then we put a holiday feel to that so that the consumers feel that consistent relationship, that ability to recognize us that they've done all year, but with how it fits with their needs for the holiday.
Okay, this is a little bit off script, but when I think of Sunglass Hut, I always think about stopping in an airport because I'm like, okay, I'm early for my flight. I'm going to check it out. Somehow I always end up with like a pair of sunglasses. A lot of people are at the airports for, Thanksgiving, for holiday travel. Is that a big part of how you all think about that customer experience?
It's definitely one of the pieces. I think we've all been there where you get through TSA and you also realize you forgot your glasses.
Yes,
And
exactly.
magically,
You're like, I need a new pair
just
now.
appears. It's like the genie in Aladdin. It just pops up. It's there. It's ready for you. It's definitely a part of our strategy. I think the travel piece as well. This year, we really made a pivot in our strategy to be more emotional. And about what it feels like to be able to own your moment. And we've all been there where you put on that pair of sunglasses and you just feel that confidence boost. And so we've really leaned into that. And I think where we've kind of adapted it for the holidays was figuring out how does that story fit in the emotional connection of when you're able to give someone else that and really, gifting someone that confidence you feel. So that I think going back to, your first question in this as well as our strategy was keep your emotional tie and then put the functional benefits kind of layered within so that it has that gifting focus.
Ooh, I love that. And also it's a great thing. You're like, I forgot a gift, but here's a Sunglasses Hut. I'm going to grab some, at least in the Miami one. They are all about the Ray-Ban metas right now. There's a lot of cool promotions going on for those. We also work with that brand at Vayner, so love that. Okay, so what does your team prioritize heading into holiday shopping season to make an impact? Is it that gifting mindset? Is it something else that's standing out this year?
It's definitely that gifting mindset. I think it kind of going back to what I just spoke to of the gifting mindset layered with the human connection of it. And our store experience, we are a product that really still sits within, you need to go to the store. You need to try those on their face. Sunglasses are very personal. There are so many potential functional benefits. And the beauty of working for a multi-brand retailer like Sunglass Hut is we have a brand and we have a style for no matter what you're looking for, but also no matter who you're gifting to, your sports brother, your fashion sister-in-law. We have everything in one location. So our strategy was really leaning into that and that relationship piece, the excitement it feels to be able to, one, get everything you need in one store, one-stop shop for everyone on your list. We will have something for you. That was really what we leaned into, but layering it, like I said, with that holiday overlay of what does that gifting mindset feel like? What does it feel like when you gift someone that perfect gift, to make that a little bit more personal?
Yeah, you just talked about fashion function both being critical to your customers. How is social and AI helping you all show up in real time with the right products, guidance, or inspiration for these holiday shoppers?
It's allowing us to show all of those functional versus
Right.
function. I think if you think about, old standard traditional advertising, you really had to prioritize one versus the ability now with social, with AI, we really lean on more custom messaging, high impact, things that allow us to show multiple brands, multiple styles, multiple colorways, even of a single style based on what the consumer is looking for. And that AI and the social ability to create that kind of varied storytelling has allowed us to lean a little bit more into, we have, no matter what you're looking for, we have the product for you.
Yeah, and you have that product in store, you have that product online, and you
Exactly.
can go in and try it on, or you can have it all sort of packaged up from an easy gifting perspective.
Exactly. And we make also it as easy as possible. Everything we do, we try to have the nearest store location pull in. Is it in stock online? We really try to bridge that gap where when you have that light bulb moment of this is what I want, we show you exactly where you can get it, exactly how you can buy it. Is it in stock? So it removes that confusion or that concern.
So, in a world where AI is the hot buzzword of this Cyber Monday, how are you all at SRL Exotica incorporating this either into your messaging or even into some of your physical products? I know a lot of glasses these days are having AI in them.
Exactly. We do have our AI glasses. If you haven't checked out the Ray-Ban Metas or the Oakley Metas, I absolutely recommend. They are incredible. At my Thanksgiving table, I feel like it's all anyone was talking about. I was like, oh, I feel like I'm still at work.
That's
But I
so fun.
think
I feel like people also like them during holidays because they're like
yeah,
taking photos and videos, and
exactly.
you have a little more free time to like actually play around with it.
Exactly. It's hands off. It's wonderful. I think from a messaging standpoint, AI has allowed us to really personalize and humanize the message, which sounds like a polar opposite. When you think about AI, it's really, we think about it as a machine,
Yeah.
but rather consumers are more willing than ever to tell us what they want. They are using AI to be told, I'm asking this, please tell me where to find it. Please tell me what to buy. If anything, the AI is now allowing us to create a more human connection because we're providing them exactly what they want. So that I think is how we're really leaning in, and you'll continue to see, more of that from us in both our media strategies as well as you see with our products.
Ooh, I can't wait to see what comes next. Okay, so Caroline, I'm gonna end us on a little this or that. You get one, both, only one. Okay, this or that, in-store holiday magic or seamless online convenience?
For us, I still have to say in-store. It's still a huge part of our consumer journey.
You guys do have great stores. Okay, this or that, holiday campaigns with humor that make people smile or emotional holiday storytelling that pulls at the heartstrings?
I think we all need a little humor right now. So humor all the way.
This or that, thoughtful, strategic long lead planning or nimble last minute pivots based on consumer behavior?
This is my both. I think you need both. You need that long, exactly what I said, retrofit kind of your brand strategy into the time period. But we know consumer behavior is changing more than ever. We have to be nimble. We have to be ready to pull different levers and shift. So this is definitely my both.
It's so right. Okay, this or that, AI powered product suggestions or curated human recommendations?
AI powered suggestions that make it a little bit more personal and human.
I love that.
So I might be cheating there, Avery, but
Sunglasses Hut does, like, I've gotten recommended some very good glasses by associates over the years because they kind of know. They're like, oh, your face shape, you're going to be good for this.
Exactly. They get trained on your face shape, your color. If you can go to store, they really do create that personal experience. It's why if you haven't been, I fully recommend checking out your nearest Sunglass Hut, especially right now in the holidays. There's some great deals going on. We have great products.
Amazing. Okay. Well, thank you for taking a little bit of time to join us on Marketing for the Now this Cyber Monday. SRL Exotica is a company that is absolutely crushing this holiday with everything from your AI glasses to the incredible in-store experience. I feel like you all are putting a bow on that human shopping. So thank you very much, Caroline.
Thanks so much, Avery.
All right, and last but not least, we have one of our very own. I get to interview Zubeen, who leads our commerce practice here at VaynerX. Zubeen, I think you're dialing in from somewhere warm and festive.
Somewhere warm and festive indeed, dialing in from beautiful Hawaii.
Okay, how's Hawaii?
Hawaii's gorgeous, beautiful. Waves are great, weather's great, can't complain. Beautiful Cyber Monday.
It almost looks like you have a fake background behind you. It's so beautiful. Okay, so Zubeen, I've got you for 4 minutes. I want to pick your brain on how, what are the key things that you're hearing from Vayner clients this holiday season, this Black Friday, Cyber Monday? AI has been a big topic. Live shopping has been a big topic. What are the things that are really popping right now?
So a couple of things. One, I think everybody mentioned it. Lisa, Maggie, Corinne, and Caroline mentioned it, that really it's about human-centric AI. And I think when we're thinking about AI so much, everybody's kind of caught up in a lot of the buzz and the hype. Oh, now ChatGPT has a shopping assistant. Now we've got ChatGPT, you can buy products and et cetera. But I think the really critical thing to think about, and our clients are as well, is around consumer behavior and what people are asking for. So the fact that people are using, some Deloitte cited some 33% of people use AI assistants for shopping this holiday season and will. I think what's really important there is the conversational nature of it. And to think about it from the standpoint of, okay, we're not going to get our products fed right into ChatGPT immediately. It's a long tail play. It's going to take some time. We're not going to sell products directly through there, but consumers are looking at it. And so we've got to have the right type of content so that ChatGPT, Perplexity, Gemini, et cetera, are indexing us. And then we've got to make sure that our owned experiences, you were asking earlier about owned experiences or where people are. And I think making sure that our owned experiences more so reflect the conversational nature of what people are asking for or like desiring to shop with is really important. I think the most immediate thing that brands can do is really think about their gift guides and not and flip them from, okay, products that are $50 to $100 or $100 to $150, and really think about the type of cohorts and individuals that are shopping and who they're shopping for, and update some of those pages to be like, for my sister who has active lifestyle, who's into beauty products, and think about it from that standpoint, and they'll get far more traction. And by virtue of the fact they'll get indexed within the LLMs as well. I think that's one aspect of it. The other aspect of it, live shopping that you bring up, is exploding in the US. And the thing to mention is that there's a significant amount of live shopping that's obviously been happening over the last 18 months here. But now you're actually starting to see sales happen with it. So it's not just a matter of eyeballs, it's about direct sales. And so brands are thinking about it. Uniqlo is actually doing live shopping direct in store with their store associates. And I think the brands that have store associates going into 2026, it's really around how do you take those store associates, as Lisa and David's Bridal do with like Dream Makers, and feeding that insight into AI. How do you empower those store associates to do more, to actually go live, to connect with humans outside of the physical experience? Because they're the ones that know the most. And if we can take their insight and bring it to the web, then you've got this beautiful correlation, if you will, between human-centric insight and then AI modeling.
Amazing. Okay, so Zubeen, if you had to give one key tip to retailers who are looking to optimize their Cyber Monday this afternoon, what would it be?
This afternoon, take a look at the data, as you were mentioning earlier. It's not about planning.
Nimble
You've done all the
pivots.
planning. You are where you are. Pivot. Make sure you're able to look at the data as quickly as possible, understand where you need to pivot, and trust the fact that you've laid out what you need to and allow things to run. And the reality is, like, today is, yes, Cyber Monday. Large proportion of sales are going to happen today. But what are you going to do as a result of what you learned today over the course of the next 4 weeks?
Amazing. Okay, Zubeen, we're going to end on a little this or that. So are you ready for it? You get one vote. Okay, this or that. In-store holiday magic or seamless online convenience?
Seamless online convenience.
Holiday campaigns with humor that make people smile or emotional storytelling that pulls at the heartstrings?
Comedy. Comedy all day.
Everybody said comedy. Everyone needs to laugh these days. This or that, thoughtful long lead planning or nimble last minute pivots based on consumer behavior?
Nimble last minute pivots based on consumer behavior. We see it all the time. You can set things and kind of forget it, but you need to pivot. If you do that, then you actually get those incremental wins that can amount to quite a bit.
Amazing. This or that, AI powered product suggestions or curated human recommendations?
Curated human recommendations. And I think the more we go into AI, the more we think about it, the more you're going to see human-centric recommendations actually went out versus machine.
Amazing. Zubeen, thank you so much for joining us on Marketing for the
Thanks,
Now,
Avery.
dialing in from Hawaii. I wish everyone who is listening to this live and post fact a wonderful Black Friday, Cyber Monday, and holiday season. We just recapped the unexpected brands that are crushing this holiday season, from David's Bridal to Frida Baby to Slumu Institute to Essor Luxottica, all like ones that are not exactly who you might think about for like holiday e-com, but all of them crushing it with really strategic plans that are really breaking through the noise. And we ended off on our very own Zubeen, who is absolutely worth a follow. So thanks for tuning in to Marketing for the Now.